I started with FFL over a year ago. I've since changed to a different IMO because of some shady things that happened to my mentors that were in the business. And just because of the fact I was promised a lot of stuff that didn't happen. I bought leads that should have been exclusive and they were being resold apparently many times because whenever I would try to get in contact with people, they would be like, oh, so and so already called me from your company, and I've taken care of it with them. I was promised training, and the training pretty much just consisted of buy more leads, do more dials. It wasn't anything about how to actually have conversations with people.
How long did you work for Family First Life?
For about a year.
How much money and leads did you buy?
I would estimate probably about 8,000 to 10,000 from them.
When did you figure out that they were bogus leads as opposed to the exclusive leads that you were promised?
I had suspicion of it pretty quickly and started trying to look for other lead sources, but it was the ones that they recommended. I didn't realize until looking into it later on that those lead sources were also partners of theirs that were doing the same thing.
You're saying you were in a bad situation.
Yeah.
How many sales did you make during that 1 year period?
Less than 15, and I don't know the ratio, but a lot of those charged back because people would come behind you from the same company, undersell you and stuff because the information was getting resold.
Based on my conversations with people, you were recommended to sell a company called Americo, which I know the upline IMO commission is 185% below but before the bonus. Most carriers, it's substantially less, even 50 points less. You understand that the commission is built in. So
yes.
The price is substantially higher.
Yeah.
Andrew Hollern, I interviewed, he said, if I sell an Americo policy, I know it will get replaced.
Yeah.
I suppose being new in the business, you listened to their advice and you sold Americo?
Yeah, to an extent. But I mean, I saw how expensive those were. So, I mean, unless it was a certain situation, I didn't really even mess with them.
Initially, you didn't know any better and
right.
You sold a couple of Americo policies. That's normally what I've been hearing.
Yeah, and those charge back.
So Andrew Hollern is telling us the actual situation.
Yes.
You know, based on being a relatively new insurance agent, you remember studying for the test. It's very much a high crime, the issue of churning for insurance agents, where you make a double commission selling the client a lousy policy in January, going back to that same client in December and saying, hey, I've got something better. Lo and behold, you made a double first year commission. You know that's a pretty bad thing.
Yes.
In essence, what you're telling me, Rex, is Family First Life was double dipping if they were selling that lead twice and making a double first year commission.
Yes.
The Department of Insurance, state of Texas, wants to know that information. I certainly would want you to, as a citizen, to contact those 10 or 11 people that you sold policies to, have conversations with them, find out what they did. You should be reporting this to the Department of Insurance, the Attorney General. Apparently it was a bad connection or Rex hung up, one of the two. The fact is that if anyone knows of any fraud, you have a fiduciary and an ethical duty to report that to the Department of Insurance, the Attorney General, the Department of Labor, with as much detail as possible, so those entities can do a proper investigation. Based on my conversation with a gentleman in California who did exactly that, he was recommended and referred to an attorney to make a personal lawsuit. There is a tendency in insurance agents to not to want to make waves, not to get involved. To become a licensed insurance agent, you read a book twice for 10, 12 hours, you become an agent. We're talking about unskilled, unemployed, low-income people, have no money, broke. They come into the business broke. As we heard from Rex, you spin your wheels for a year, spend $10,000, you're going to be more broke, more bad situation a year later. People like that generally don't like to get involved, and that's why we have the government to protect us. Hopefully, the various governmental agencies understand what's going on, and they will act, but they could only act if they know what's going on. I do appreciate that Rex did get on this call initially. Hopefully, it wasn't that he doesn't really care about helping people, because I know he's from the state of Texas, where there's a genuine issue of people being good citizens.